Welcome to the League of Melanated Gentlemen podcast. I'm Spenser. I'm one of your hosts, and what a joyous day it is today. I am here joined by the other two members of the League of Melanated Gentlemen. They have come here today to bring you your weekly dose of joy and merriment through the sound of our voices and the content of our minds.
This is Brandon.
And I'm Jordan.
In honor of March Madness, and because this is the League of Melanated Gentlemen, we are bringing to you today a bracket, but not just any bracket. Oh no. We are bringing to you a bracket of black movies. What the League of Melanated Gentlemen is going to do today, we have seeded a bunch of movies, and they are the qualifications for being a black movie was a black lead. We kind of, debated and discussed whether or not some of these qualified as black movies, and we all decided that these are in fact black movies. If you disagree, there are places where you can let us know that you disagree.
Nice segue.
Yeah,
I want to segue.
So if you disagree with anything that we say today, you can let us know on our Facebook group, the League of Melanated Gentlemen Podcast, or you can let us know on Twitter, LMG Podcast, or you can let us know on YouTube, the League of Melanated Gentlemen Podcast. And so, Brandon, as our resident sports analyst, I think it is only right that you run the bracket for us today.
Thank you, Spencer. I appreciate that. Also, as the best basketball player on the podcast, I would love to
stop the cap. Whoa!
As the best hooper on the pod, I feel like
that's crazy.
Most qualified to present this basketball style bracket.
I will go on record as saying I am the worst basketball player on the podcast.
Brandon not too far behind you though.
Stop. Stop the cap. I'm giving Jordan a few L's, but
oh hell
anyways, no. Like Spencer said, 32 movies, 32 black movies. We're gonna go through them. We seeded them, as best as we can. You know what I mean? And
the seeding is a little random, and that was
a
on
little
purpose.
Generated. Right. Just to make it a little more fun, make it a little more random, make us have to make some really tough decisions. So yeah, it'll be a good time. All right, gentlemen.
Let me throw this out there. We understand that we might miss some movies that you think should be on the list, and also this is also going to be a teaching moment, for some of our audience who may not have seen these movies.
Yeah, agreed. All our white people out there, we love y'all. Hopefully, y'all educate yourself.
Not only the white people. I mean, there are non-white people who are not familiar with these movies.
Yeah, man. Come on, what about like the Filipinos or like the other races out here, Hispanics?
Sure, we worldwide.
Yeah, baby. Sure. Yeah, Brandon, you forgot about that. We worldwide, man.
I guess I should know that. But yeah. All right, gentlemen, are you ready for our first matchup?
Should we just like tell them the movies when we get the matchup?
I think we should go. Surprise? Yeah, I think we should go per matchup. That way we're not looking too past anything. All right. In our first matchup, we have number 1 seed, Love and Basketball, and the 32 seed, Bad Boys 2. Gentlemen, what are your thoughts?
Bad Boys 2 is my favorite movie, and there is nothing anyone can say that will make me pick Love and Basketball over Bad Boys 2, because Bad Boys 2 is my favorite movie.
I mean, I will say, while Bad Boys 2 is a very, very good movie, I also deeply love Love and Basketball.
Is Love and Basketball... So Love and Basketball is one of those movies that's like, is it even really good? Or have we just hyped it up?
Whoa,
that's a legitimate question.
Whoa, now. I've had relationships that were damn near based off of this movie now.
I know.
I've had relationships where this movie held this relationship together. So
was it?
I think it's a very good movie.
I agree. the from beginning to end, it was definitely, I will say, definitely a love story. And I used to definitely want to be a baller, have my girl to be a baller, and
Hell
we go to
yeah.
the same college, we live the same lifestyle. Like, loving basketball is real.
Now, is it Oscar worthy? Is it, unbelievable performances? No, I think we get that. But I will say, me, I'm a big critic of sports movies, especially basketball. It is hard to pull off a realistic basketball scenes. This movie does it.
I agree with Brandon's statement. It's hard to pull off basketball scenes because
Yeah,
they're a little rough sometimes.
This movie really pulled it off. It made you think, okay, homie can really hoop, or she can really play. I say all that to say Bad Boys 2 should win.
I agree.
Bad Boys 2
I agree.
should get that dub. Like, it's a classic. I just want to pay homage.
No, and I appreciate that, because I wasn't trying to, like, that wasn't me trying to say this is why Bad Boys 2 should win. I was legitimately asking, is Love and Basketball, as Brandon would call it, overrated? And one of the many movies that Black people have decided is on a pedestal, but when you look at it for the actual quality, as opposed to looking at it for just the culture has decided, is it good?
I think
because last time I watched it, I was like, this is not as good as I remember it being when I was younger. And this is not as good as I remember, like, people saying it is. Not to say that it's bad. I'm not saying it's a bad.
You didn't play basketball, that's why.
Okay.
It hits a little different when you play basketball. It's like, who you taking to prom? Spalding? Like, yeah. It hit a little different. She didn't know what he's talking about. She looked at the basketball. Yeah.
Bro, when she walked in with that dress,
ooh,
it hit different. At a certain age, man, it hit different.
Yeah, I had had to sit down. I wasn't able to stand up for that long. But I did agree that Bad Boys.
Sanaa. I mean, Sanaa. That's
But Bad Boys 2. I love a buddy cop movie. My favorite movie of all time is Bad Boys, and we'll get to something a little bit like that later. But Bad Boys 2 took it to a different level as far as action and big stars, and it just really hit on a different level. So yeah, I agree with you guys.
It's my favorite movie. Like, I love Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
Round 1, Love and Basketball versus Bad Boy 2. Bad Boy 2 came on top.
Yes, sir. All right. In our next matchup, we have a close one here. We have at number 16, Big Mama's House. And 17, we have Hustle and Flow. What are your thoughts?
Very different movies.
It's an interesting matchup.
Yeah. It matters how you feeling that day. What vibe?
Some of these matchups are going to be weird and difficult to decide. I mean, I think I saw these two movies at different points in my life, and that was probably for the best.
I would hope so.
I
do know that it is hard out here for a pimp.
I mean, that song definitely had the streets going for a bit.
I
I went to Memphis like a couple months after this came out, bro. It was a different level out there. Like, even if you spoke with a Memphis accent, they added a little extra on top of it just because this movie. So yeah, man, this movie changed some things.
This movie is this the first time we saw Terrence Howard and Taraji together?
I was just thinking that in my head. Like, I was like, this might have been the first time I actually seen him.
No, it's not the first time we've seen Terrence Howard. He's been doing stuff since before this, but I feel like it's the first time we saw Terrence Howard and Taraji together.
I think so. I'm not sure.
Or at least the first time I remember seeing them together.
Yeah. Yeah,
now, Terrence Howard was also in Big Mama's House.
Oh, yeah. It's true. That's a fact. I'm not a huge fan of the movie, to be honest. I like Big Mama's House. Big Mama's House, I love because Martin. I love Martin. So in my opinion, I would vote Big Mama's House. That's just more my vibe. Hustle and Flow was good, but it was also like, I don't know. It kind of fell into a right time in history.
I agree. Like, of the two, like, if I have to pick one of these movies to watch more, I'm going to pick Big Mama's House more days than Hustle and Flow.
Right.
Yeah. I mean, I completely agree with both of y'all. I hate that we're agreeing. Dang it. But you know, that's how it is sometimes.
Yeah, I was gonna say
it's not gonna be like that the whole time.
there's a whole lot of bracket left.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I agree. Big Mom's House, like that one for sure got it.
Big Mama's House moves on to the next round. Congratulations to Big Mama's House. The next matchup, we have a great movies here. We have at the 9 seed, Get Out, and at the 24 seed, Harder They Fall. Some more recent movies. What are your thoughts?
Let's start with Get Out. I mean, this movie was fantastic, but it was also very, very scary. It was for me, it was like something I was not expecting. Like I don't know what I expected from this movie, but what we got, it was really like a horror movie for Black people. It was a scary one, but it was also really good. A lot of the I guess a lot of these subtle,
there's a lot of symbolism.
Symbolism, like it went over my head. And so I remember having to look up like YouTube videos of like, oh, you missed this because she separated the colored cereal from the milk. Oh, that means separation of color. Like a lot of that stuff went over my head. And so like, oh, okay. Like, oh, I would have never caught that without these videos.
There were a couple things that I noticed for myself, and then there were a couple things that I had to be told about later. Like the cereal one, I had to be told about that later. The Buck's head on the wall, I knew what was happening there. I knew what was happening during the silent auction. I knew what happened with her whenever they got pulled over, and her being like, "No, police, we're not doing that." I knew, I caught some things, but I don't want to speak too early. But whenever we decided to do this, Get Out was one of the like sleeper, like one of the silent movies I thought could potentially win this thing.
It's interesting
because as you said, Get Out is a true horror movie. Like it's the first time that I watched a movie and was like, oh shit, I was a different kind of uncomfortable when I watched this.
Dude, the scene where, you know, towards like the middle end, when, you know, he found out that his girl is like, you know, in on the whole thing, he's like, throw me the keys.
Yeah. Whenever he realized that he's where are the keys? Like when it hit.
Yeah, man.
I was like,
dude, I was like, damn, that's messed up, man.
And one thing, like, Jordan Peele has not done this again, in my opinion.
I agree.
Like, he has not captured what he did with this movie a second time yet. And it sucks for him because everything he does will be compared to this. And he has not done, like, this movie is, dare I say it, a masterpiece. And I don't know. I mean, sure he can, but so far he has not captured this a second time.
Yeah, I liked it. I thought it was really good. I think obviously there was a lot of things that were obvious, a lot of symbolism. Probably the most symbolic movie that's came out in a long time. But y'all know me. I love history. Harder They Fall. He gave me a whole cast of Black cowboys. I've been reading up on Black cowboys. It's a very prominent thing that obviously has been lessened in history. As we know, it's been whitewashed in history. But yeah, I just thought they did a great job of like showing the action, showing the shooting scenes, showing the different things, and just the style in which it was shot, the directing that was done. Yeah, man, like the cast was crazy.
Cast was fantastic.
Oh, it had it was a really good cast.
Outstanding. And like they played like some of those people were like legit characters, like historically accurate characters.
Yeah,
I thought most of them like existed.
They just didn't exist at the same time in history.
Right, exactly.
And I know some people were mad about Zazie Beetz' character because the real life version of her was darker and heavier. And them casting Zulzi didn't make any sense. So I remember there being some backlash there. And that's the point when I realized, like, oh, these were real people. Because I don't think until then I knew that. I thought this was just like a black cowboy movie. But it's like, no, this is a historical reenactment.
Right.
Like,
right.
Oh.
Yeah, it was amazing.
I was say the scene. Remember the scene where the dude who thought he was the fastest in the West, they had to draw off, and then like they about to count down, he just straight shot him. I was like, damn.
Yeah.
Like, that was cold.
When they got Idris out of the train.
Oh, that whole scene.
That whole scene was amazing.
He had that boy shook boy.
Yeah.
Him and his dad.
Yeah, man. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I might be alone on this. I'm a vote for Harder They Fall, but I get it.
I'm not mad at that. And this is a hard matchup. I wish The Harder They Fall was up against something else, but I'm going Get Out.
Damn, so I got the tiebreaker.
You got the deciding vote.
Yeah, I mean, I'm right there with Brandon. If I had to watch either one of these, over, I would put in Harder They Fall before I put in Get Out.
Wow.
Even though I've probably seen Get Out more, but The Harder They Fall, for me, it hit different.
Do we have an early upset? Is it official?
I think we do, because
it's an upset.
Get Out is one of the best just movies that has happened in the last decade.
Wow.
That's a tough matchup right there, though.
Wow, we got an upset, and then it was me and Jordan that agreed on the upset. Wow.
I know. The crowd is going crazy right now. Yeah.
Congratulations to the Harder They Fall team. They now advance to the next round. All right. In our next matchup here, we have at the 8 seed, Medea's Family Reunion versus the 25 seed, Bad Boys 1, the original.
Yeah,
what we thinking?
I like Medea's Family Reunion. It was the lady in that movie. I had a crush on her since White Chicks.
Ooh. Bro, yes.
Like, boy, oh boy. And this is one of those movies that, like, I hated Blair Underwood in real life.
Yeah.
And I also hated Lynn Whitfield in real life.
So you're like, yeah, that's right up my alley. I'm good.
Yeah, but yeah, this movie, it's one of Tyler Perry's better works. I mean, it's a pretty standard Tyler Perry formula.
Right.
Where we have a dark-skinned man who's terrible, and then we have a light-skinned man who's just a hard-working gentleman.
Hard-working.
Yeah, just a hard-working. He's got calluses on his hands or whatever they say.
He can't go to the barbershop apparently.
That's also a part of the Tyler Perry formula. We have the evil dark-skinned man getting his comeuppance. With that grit ball. They call that grit ball. We have a very inspirational speech from the Cecily Tyson.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, good one.
Amen.
She did the grab them and hug them and tell them that you love them. That whole thing.
Medea's going to always be Medea with the little quips that she always says.
Oh yeah, she and Joe going back and forth.
That was the best part of the movie. Yeah,
I love seeing them two go back and forth with each other.
Yeah.
The scene where and this is a little bit trifling, but there was a scene in there where there was a young woman and a bunch of old men, and they were like, "Yeah, reach way down in there,
down in there.
You gotta reach deep."
This
and I was like,
at a family reunion.
Yeah, I was like, that's not okay.
That wasn't odd at all. Yeah,
it's sad, but you know what happens all the time.
It really does.
They unfortunately were living like they were in the South.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Again, like I mentioned, Bad Boys is my favorite movie ever. Bad Boys, it kind of changed. It kind of put some swag on being a police officer. We've kind of seen it before with Beverly Hills Cop and things of that nature. A little bit of Lethal Weapon, but This
some Rush Hour.
Yeah, a little Rush Hour, but this like fully leaned into like putting two badass dudes as cops, and they look like legit cops, and like it just was different, man. It like changed the game, and so like, yeah, man, I love this movie. Like I've probably seen this movie more than any other movie. I probably shouldn't have been watching this movie at that time, but I was.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's okay.
I was like, this movie was because definitely seen it.
Yeah, like to me, this movie made Will Smith a superstar. Like I forgot who told him that, but like when he was running down the street trying to chase the bad guys, like that kind of lets you know, oh, okay, this dude's an action star.
Yeah, like I agree. I think this is the movie that got him the roles that he got for the rest of the night. Like this got him Independence Day. This got him Men in Black.
Right.
Like yeah, this propelled him into stardom. I would firmly agree. And I feel like they were like, let's take the biggest sitcom comedy stars on TV and put them together.
Yeah. And like we've seen that happen before, but it usually doesn't work. But like these dudes were the perfect combination. Mike Lowry.
This is, I mean,
there's the sound of the police.
Yeah.
Come
on, man.
As much as I actually like Medea's family reunion, there's a clear winner here.
Absolutely.
Oh, yeah, 100%
agree. Yeah, agreed. Congratulations to Bad Boys, making it to the second round. All right, our next one. At the number 4 seed, we have Ray against the 29 seed, Barbershop. What are your thoughts?
Ray. Oh, Jordan, go ahead.
I was going to say very different movies. That was all I'm saying. Very different movies.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. Not even in the like this, and this is one of those like random seeds that's like, oh yeah, these could not be any further from each other.
Yeah,
as far as like style, genre, all that.
Thanks.
I remember my mom taking me going to go see this. I don't even think I really even like I knew who Ray Charles was, but it was like, well, how am I going to go see a Ray Charles movie at this age? Like, I did not care at all, but. It was crazy. I was like, dang, did he really go blind like that? I remember he was like trying to get his brother and like he ended up slipping into the like the little bath water or something. I was like, dang, he really went blind like that?
Yeah, man. Like this movie, this made Jamie Foxx, like obviously Jamie Foxx was already famous. We know that, but like
I think this is
a critical acclaimed actor status.
Yeah, like this is the movie where people found out he could act.
Right, exactly.
Before this, we had just seen him do comedy, but I mean, and there may have been something we saw him in before this, but like this is the movie where people were like, "Oh shit, Jamie Foxx!" This is the movie where I decided he can do everything.
And I want to say this in the same year, Slow Jams came out. Or was it
Kanye West?
I want to say it was one of those. Yeah, I want to say it was that year. I
feel like it was a little later, but
it was either that or it was Gold Digger. Can't remember, but one of those came out in the same year. Like he had a year where it was just like, God damn, is this nigga in everything? And and so like, yeah, man, this dude, he took it over for a while there.
Yeah, Brandon, like 2004. He was right.
Yep. Yeah. Like he just took over that year. Like 04 was his year. I wonder when his album came out. This nigga was, but
hey. The Unpredictable album?
Unpredictable, bro.
Hey,
tell my mama, bro. I played that joint.
Still play that thing.
Fire. But yeah, man, the dude he took it to a different level. Like, it was a little later.
2005, so a year later.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah.
I mean, same way, like time period.
Yeah. That was his era. Like, that was his era. He was running things.
Again, like that's the movie where I was like, oh, Jamie Foxx can do everything. Okay.
Right.
I know that now. Excellent. Because whenever I saw that Jamie Foxx got cast, I was like, really? Like,
yeah,
they putting Jamie Foxx in like a serious movie like this? And I was like, oh, all right. I see how we got here. I did not mean to disrespect you like that, sir.
Right.
And of course, I was 12, but yeah.
I would say, yeah, before that point, I'd only ever seen him on like the Martin show. I mean, not the Martin show,
Jamie Foxx show.
Jamie Foxx show. So
he was in. He did a really good job in Any Given Sunday, but that was a minor role, obviously.
Yeah,
but yeah, man, dude,
he can do everything.
Yeah,
and this is how I know that.
Yeah, we've said it on different episodes. Like Jamie Foxx can do everything.
Right, and it's weird because he's so famous, but like in that movie, I forgot it was Jamie Foxx. Like I was legit.
Like that's another thing is in most biopic movies, like you can tell that the actor is still the actor, but like in this movie, I got lost in his performance. Like he looked like Ray Charles.
Facts. Like
because a lot of times, like in Malcolm X, like that was still Denzel.
Yeah.
But I feel like that about Ali too.
Yeah, like that was just Will Smith.
Yeah,
like he sounded like Muhammad Ali, but he like looking at him like you look like Will Smith.
Right.
In this, but no, he looked like Ray Charles.
Yep.
Like to the point where it was weird.
Yeah, it was really weird. Yeah, great performance. Barbershops, I think is underrated, man. It's like an underrated franchise to me.
Dude, I used to love Barbershop back in the day. Like
they had like 3 good
Barbershop
ones.
was my thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know. What was Barbershop 3? I don't remember Barbershop 3. I remember Barbershop 1 and 2.
3, I think, was the one where they actually closed, where they were like about to close down, and
it had a spinoff. It had Beauty Shop too.
Yeah, it did. Like, had some, and then like did a really good job of like introducing some new actors, like Eve.
I
remember. I loved Eve.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, we all love Eve. Nicki Minaj was in the third one. Yeah, but the first man, Cedric. I love Cedric. I get why some people don't. Yeah, I get why some people don't.
Cedric the Entertainer was not terrible in this movie. I can admit that.
He was really good. He was really good. But yeah, I thought they just did a great job of like showing us for the first time, I think to a broad audience, obviously we've seen it, but like what a black barbershop is like, what the dichotomy is, the politics, all that stuff.
Because it is really its own experience. Like,
exactly. Yeah, it really is.
If you've never been in there, you've never been in there.
Right.
I remember what's funny. I remember my wife going into the barbershop with me one time to get her haircut. Like, and she had never been into a barbershop. And I was like, all right, well, be prepared because they're gonna be talking about girls. And I think as soon as you walk in, they probably gonna say hi to you, but just know as soon as you walk out this door, they're gonna talk about you. So she tried to like, look, her Sunday best to make sure she was off in there. And I was like, I mean, that's just how it is. I'm sorry to tell you that, but as soon as you walk out that door, everybody talking.
You've involuntarily signed up to be judged. Like it's just the way it is. I've had so many LeBron versus Kobe discussions in a barbershop, bro. Like
I've had Earth is flat discussions in a barbershop.
It's you can go to the barbershop and have some interesting conversation, get some good advice. You hear some crazy story, like
you can talk video games, you can talk philosophy.
Yep.
Like it's you can talk fashion. Like there's a lot on the everything's on the table.
Thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
And also there's a guaranteed roast.
Oh yeah. Somebody getting clowns.
Somebody. I don't know who it's gonna be. Sometimes it's one of the barbers, sometimes it's somebody who innocently walked in.
You're gonna have a nigga walk in trying to sell tapes, trying to sell some DVDs.
I ain't gonna lie. I bought a lot of bootlegs back in the day.
Jordan, that does not surprise me at all.
I bought one bootleg, and it was like it's the reason it's the only one I bought because my mom bought it. I loved Godzilla, and I wanted Godzilla 2000. I had not seen it, and so she found the guy at the barbershop happened to have a copy of Godzilla 2000. And when I popped that shit in, it was next Friday.
You never know what you're going to get with a bootleg.
That's the chance you take, bro. I remember my dad was the worst to get bootlegs. I used to get pissed off. He was like, y'all trying to watch such. I'm like, nigga, this ain't even hit the theaters yet. What are you talking about? And he's like, all right, let's throw it in. you 5 minutes in, somebody walk across the screen. I'm like, nah, fam, nah, I'm not doing this bootleg stuff.
The funniest thing to me, when I was like grown, I was at a barbershop and I was like, oh, they're still doing this.
Yeah.
A guy came up to me and tried to say and I saw the discs that he had. The one on top, Lion King 3D. And I said,
yeah, you ain't buying that.
I said, my guy, you're telling me that you have Lion King 3D? 3D? All right.
Yeah. They still give it to me. You know they be getting people too.
But no, I couldn't.
You know they be getting people too. But yeah, I think this is a pretty easy one.
This one. Yeah, barbershop.
What?
No?
Ray.
What?
Oh, that's crazy.
Jordan, you're
what?
Wilding. Wait,
that's
what? Hold on.
I
thought that was...
I thought you were joking. I knew you were joking.
No, I would go joking. I would in barbershop.
Absolutely not. The
guy who hates jokes wants to go with the movie that makes
hate jokes. I just hate jokes for certain characters.
He just hates Thor being funny. That's the only person he mad at being funny is Thor.
Wait, what, Jordan? Bro, you wilding today.
I'll take that one. I'll take that one, I guess. I thought we was going barbershop, but that's
like that's the thing. Like, you were like, of course. We all agree. No,
nigga, what? No, you still won an Oscar. What are you talking about?
Oh, that's hilarious.
All right,
said it with confidence too. Said it with his chest.
He was ready to click on it too, boy. All right. So Ray moves on to the next round as it should, and then next one we have is Malcolm X at the 12 seed, at the 13 seed, and versus the 20 seed Drumline. What are your thoughts, fellas?
Once again, very different movies.
Yeah.
This is similar to the last matchup in like
biopic versus comedy,
and how like drastically different these movies are.
Yeah, I'm gonna tell you the story. So the first time I seen this movie was in high school. I believe it was 11th grade. We watched it in class. We was in a history class, and I remember there was this white girl who said, "Me and my homie." We was sitting together watching it, and then this white girl behind us was like just crying at the movie, and she's like, "I'm so sorry that happened." I'm like, "Yo, like this happened a long time ago." Like, I mean, thank you, I guess, but I don't know what else.
I'm sorry, that's not funny.
Tears, tears. I had no idea. I'm so sorry. I'm just like, yo, I mean, thank you. I guess. Like,
that's hilarious.
I'm glad actually, you feel something.
I have a follow-up question. That's kind of dope y'all are watching this in history class. I know I wasn't watching nothing like this. So that's dope.
We watched Homicide too.
I remember Give Us Free.
Yeah, we watched that too.
Yeah, we definitely watched Amistad in class. I think we may have watched this in middle school in class, but also I'm not trying to speak negatively about anybody, but there were a lot of movie days because our history teacher was the basketball coach.
I mean, so, everybody who's ever had a coach for a teacher knows exactly.
There are a lot of movies we saw in class, and I don't remember all of them, but I'm sure this was one of them.
Bro, at least y'all cared about history. We was watching Treasure Island, Atlantis. We was watching whatever Disney they could pull up. Well, yeah, we barely watched.
Yeah, but you were in Edmond.
Yeah. Well, I was in Edmond for high school, but yeah, like middle school, I was in Putnam City District. But like I think we may have watched Roots, like an episode of Roots or something. That may be the blackest we got, but that's dope though.
I mean,
this is a good movie.
Malcolm X though. He's like he was talking to that woman reporter. She's like, "What can a white person like me do for you?" He just looked her in the eyes and was like, "Nothing." And just walked away. I was like, "Damn." That's some savage stuff.
But I will say, watching this movie made me like do research on Malcolm X, and like he was a dope dude. So yeah, like this movie definitely exposed me to things.
And it sucks that Malcolm X, the actual person, he was kind of turned into a villain by the United States thought.
Right.
And because they don't talk about how at the end Malcolm X and Martin Luther King were starting to align.
Yeah.
They just talk about how they were just butting heads and going against each other all the time, and Malcolm X was a proponent of separate but equal and wanted death to the whites. And it's no, that's not.
Yeah, it's not what he said.
It's not what he said, but you weren't listening. But okay.
Yeah, they definitely try to whitewash. Because, I mean, you're right, though. Dr. King definitely, tried to avoid Malcolm X. Throughout history, he was like, nah, I don't want to be associated with him because, they put that whole, radical shit on him. But
yeah, because one of the reasons they picked Martin Luther King, because he was a reverend doctor. And he had the look about him that could get things done. And, I mean, Martin Luther King has also been very whitewashed. And there are a lot of things that Martin Luther King believed in that are never talked about because that would destroy because there are honestly white people quote him more often than anybody.
That's true,
because he's just been kind of turned into a very neutral
Gandhi
positive figure. Yeah, but it's no, Martin Luther King was adamantly opposed to capitalism. He was a socialist, and they don't talk about that because that goes against the brand.
Right.
Yeah.
And
what a fantastic job Denzel did, though.
Oh yeah,
true.
We're talking about the movie.
I mean, this is before. This was kind of before the actor had to be spot on. If he doesn't look exactly they did their best just trying to make him look like him, but the most important thing is obviously the performance. There wasn't nobody who's going to have a better performance. So yeah, he killed it.
And that's the thing. This is one of the movies. Whenever people, because I've heard people try to say that Denzel, he doesn't really act. He's just kind of the same and everything. And it's so you didn't watch Malcolm X then?
Yeah, you didn't watch a ton of movies.
There are a lot of examples. There are some movies where he's himself, and Denzel Washington. To me, he doesn't have to act. He can just be himself and I'm good. He's one of those.
Right.
But the man can act. The man will show up and get the job done. And
John Q?
Absolutely.
Again, there are a lot of examples. We don't need to get into a list. We're going to be here all day long. But I never understood that based on Malcolm X. Okay, so you didn't watch it. Got it. Okay.
Exactly.
But
people lazy.
And I mean, Malcolm X is the movie he should have got the Oscar for. Malcolm X is why he got the Training Day Oscar.
Yeah, that's true.
He should have got that one too.
Right.
Let me ask y'all. After watching Drumline for the first time, did you want to get a snare drum? Did you want to play the snares? Because I know I did.
I was already in music, so
I was going to say, Spenser probably already in the band. I did not. However, it was fire. It did look like I went to go watch a Grambling, whatever.
I was
game.
It did make me want to see an HBCU.
Yeah, it made me want to drive up to Langston and watch a halftime show.
It made me want to do that because I had seen an OU band.
Right.
But yeah, it made me want to I want to see what these niggas is out here doing.
Bro, it made me want to play drums. I'm like, bro, if he can do it, I know I can do it. And I definitely tried, and I definitely could not do it.
If Nick Cannon can do it, I can do it.
I was like, bro, Nick Cannon he can't even read music. I was like, I can't read music either. But I mean, if he can do it, surely I can do it. But definitely could not do it.
Oh, that's so funny.
Yeah, it was. This is I don't want to say a hood classic, but a black people classic, Drumline.
And for people our age,
yeah, absolutely.
This was a movie that I remember people in my age group talking about constantly.
Yeah, I mean, you remember the scene where they were on the field, and no, was it at practice? Yeah, they was at practice, and they slowly started moving. And then Nick Cannon slowly started moving, they were going back and forth.
Yeah,
that's nice.
Yeah, them scenes, and that's the thing. Them scenes, like it was a really well directed movie. Like those scenes were intense. Like in this first competition when he was going up against dude, also Nick Cannon, bro. And I know he's easy to shit on. Like he gives people lobs.
You better not say something crazy.
I mean, but homie was solid. Like homie had a solid couple years there.
He only had really 2 good movies. This and Love Don't Cost a Thing.
I say we'll talk about his other one. Yeah,
right. But that's what I'm saying. Like that was a good era.
And Underclassmen was okay, in my opinion. It was okay.
And that's the Nick Cannon is one of those people. Like Brandon said, it's really easy to shit on Nick Cannon, but Nick Cannon does have some wins because Wild 'N Out was.
That's
still
a win.
like Wild 'N Out is great.
Yeah.
And Nick Cannon is behind that. The man married Mariah Carey.
True.
And got her pregnant.
He got everybody pregnant. Like that's not.
but he did it before it was cool.
Yeah,
like it was before it was a thing.
Oh, before he started just being a serial father.
That's hilarious.
Yeah. And I almost feel like Nick Cannon is a serial father because people be talking shit on him. Like he's like, oh well, at least I got bitches. Like I feel like this is him responding.
So what are y'all thinking here?
Malcolm X.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking too. Malcolm X.
Oh, really?
Oh, Brandon.
No, like seriously, I was gonna roll with Drumline only because I just think I'm gonna run that back before I run back Malcolm X. Malcolm X is great.
You're a history guy, Brandon.
I am.
This is literally the barbershop Ray conversation. This is literally the exact same.
Ray was more entertaining. Ray was more entertaining than Malcolm X.
We got 2-1 on that one. Malcolm X moves on.
Split decision. All right.
Okay. So the next one we have 12th ranked ATL, 12th seed ATL versus 21 seed Bebe's Kids.
Should we start with ATL with T.I.?
I feel like this is beautiful. This is when the world was introduced to Lauren London, as far as I know.
A new. Yeah.
People still call her Nunu to this day.
Like that's her name for some people. Like there are some people that like they are just called by their character, like Schmidt in New Girl. His name is Schmidt.
His name is Schmidt to the day I die.
Yeah, like
no matter what he's in.
Yeah, he will always be Schmidt. And so for that happens to some characters, and that kind of may speak to how iconic the character is. And so the fact that there are people that call her Nunu and that is just her name, that may speak to the importance of the character, or does it?
I think it does. I think overall, like the cast was fire. Like
there were a lot
of
people
just
in that
names. Movie. Yeah, not just names, but like did a really good, like T.I. really good performance. Like not even just for a rapper, like good performance. You know what I mean? Homie from Smart Guy, really good. Big Boy. Wow, like I hated Big Boy in this movie.
Bro, he beat the brakes off little homie T.I.'s brother.
Yeah, bro. Like I was legit like, oh, he about to kill him.
Yeah, he beat the brakes off him.
But yeah, man, it just felt like Atlanta. Like you felt like you were engulfed in Atlanta when you watched that movie, and they did a really good job. Like that was probably honestly ATL was low key kind of ahead of its time. But
yeah, I agree. So what about Bebe's Kids? I would definitely say I saw this one way too young. My mom.
Yeah. I was younger than the kids in the movie when I saw this movie.
Bro, the jokes in this movie.
This movie came out in 92, the same year I was born. There was I was watching this real young.
I'm pretty sure I was 3 or 4 years old the first time I saw this. And
bro, this is for kids, like the jokes, the sexualization of the girl, like, bro, it was
wild.
I shouldn't have been watching this either, but it was wild.
Oh yeah, I remember she was thick. The girl,
ragging on her.
Yeah.
Because that's why he was at a funeral. It was like, oh, we gonna have to we're gonna have to make this move. We're gonna have to go ahead and do this.
Bro, the whole mission was trying to get the kids out the way.
Yeah, trying to get them out the way.
Yeah, that was his whole. That's the whole movie. I'm trying to get rid of these kids.
Yep.
So I can get to this mission. Like, you know what I mean?
Now, I will say, if I was him, like, I would have been furious if he said you had a kid. Like, you had one kid last time we talked about it. Who was these niggas?
Right.
I would have been furious because I don't like surprises.
Same way.
But yeah, the all the shit that happens at Fun World is hilarious.
Yep. Shout out to the main guy that played the main person. He died. He was like a famous.
Yeah, Robin Harris died.
Yeah.
And Faison Love, I'm pretty sure, is who played him.
Yeah,
he did a great job.
Right.
But yeah, this
really good job.
This movie. This is a very black movie.
Absolutely.
And I mean, they even address some racism in it. Like the like FBI shows up and is like,
oh yeah, pressing them,
harassing the kids, and I'm like, wow,
yeah,
this is because it was on Netflix for a little bit, and I watched it as an adult, and I was like, I didn't realize they were touching on some shit. And of course, one of the funniest things to me, even when I was young, was like the scene in the bathroom when they were throwing Yo Mama jokes back and forth.
Oh yeah.
And they are the same mama.
No, talking about when Robin and his ex-wife.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Whenever he was like, "Your mama's so dumb," they told her it was chilly outside, and she went and got a bowl.
I wonder where is this at on streaming service, because I need to watch this one again.
It used to be on Netflix, but I don't know where it is now.
Yeah, that's interesting.
And one thing that I always wondered, like, I wanted to see Bebe's
kids.
Like, we never saw the mother of those children. And I always wanted, I was hoping there'd be a sequel and we'd get to see who Bebe was.
Bebe.
But I bet Robin Harris never met her either.
Bebe. What are y'all thinking on this one?
I'm like ATL. What I got?
Bebe's Kids has a special place in my heart. And I mean, that's just me. I don't think Bebe's Kids is going to win this matchup, but I'm picking Bebe's Kids.
I mean, I definitely agree with you, Spencer, in saying that I don't think Bebe's Kids is winning this matchup, because I gotta go with
I'm not mad at that at all.
Around the way. Mr. Rec clothesline on that one. All right. ATL moving on to the second round. All right, our next matchup, we have at number 5 seed Nutty Professor and the 28th seed low-key sleeper White Chicks. What we got?
Honestly, I want to knock this one out. I'm going out early. I'm saying White Chicks on this one.
Okay, if we're not going to talk about them, then
we can talk about it. But I know my pick. White Chicks was.
I know my pick as well. But I was going to at least talk about Nutty Professor a little bit. I mean,
you want to give it a chance.
I mean, Eddie Murphy has to play like 5 people in this movie, and he has to wear a fat suit, and all that. But yeah,
Hercules.
Buddy love.
Like, White Chicks is blowing this thing out the water, in my opinion. Like this Nutty Professor has no hope against White Chicks.
Facts.
What's
White
crazy
Chicks.
Is, I believe. Okay, no, the second one. I was about to say I thought I saw this one in theaters, but it was the second one I went to go see in theaters with my mom.
Yeah, I saw pretty much all those in theaters, I believe. But yeah, White Chicks just, bro, you could throw that on, and it's
White Chicks was my movie of choice for like a while. Like if we, whenever during the summer, whenever we used to go to Texas to see some family, we had this like little portable DVD player.
Yeah.
White Chicks is what I'm watching.
Yeah, that was a great choice.
And I should not have been watching it.
Oh, I mean, yeah, it is wild. Stuff
2004, dude, we're so young to be watching that. That's crazy.
And
I would never let my kid watch this.
Oh, absolutely not.
Terry Crews.
That movie made Terry Crews.
Now
agreed.
I'm going to probably talk more extensively about this movie later. So, Jordan, you may have made the right choice. Yeah, I'm just going to call it at White Chicks because
making my way downtown.
Bro, that's the only reason I know that song blew up because of that.
That's the only reason I know that song.
Yeah. So. Outstanding. Okay, so White Chicks makes it to the next round. All right, so in our next quadrant of the bracket, we have at the number 2 seed, we have Life versus the number 31 seed, Think Like a Man.
I mean, again, I know we have to talk about it, but I mean, I know my decision.
I do too.
Yeah, I will say, for the longest time, Life was my favorite movie ever. Like I watched that with my dad a million times. Like Claude and Ray. Yeah, that's just like that's one of the more quotable movies. Like, yeah, that's one of the more quotable movies ever.
Oh yeah,
Life is the reason I say consequences and repercussions, and I didn't know it.
Yeah,
like I did not know that this movie was why I say that, but this movie is absolutely why.
Consequences and repercussions.
I say consequences and repercussions. So yeah, we could talk about Think Like a Man, but I don't think we need to.
Nah. I will say this. I think Think Like a Man kind of rejuvenated the whole black rom-com thing, and I think it's underrated, like historically, but like that was a mega hit at the time.
Oh yeah,
but yeah, as we all
know. And I thought it was funny that like Steve Harvey wrote a book. That's what this movie's about.
Yeah, I know, right?
That's fine.
Yeah, I know. It pretty much did the opposite of everything he did, but yeah.
And that movie was star-studded. Like everybody was in it.
Yeah, the first one amazing. Second one, no.
Yeah,
agreed.
But like I think this isn't the first time, but like this is when I realized like Lala's like, oh, Lala out here looking right. Because I remember when Lala was in You Got Served, and and I was like,
with the MTV, right? Wasn't she like part of the MTV crowd?
When she was with MTV, I remember not caring about her. But yeah, I saw her in this, and I was like, oh, why didn't nobody tell me that Lala was out here looking like this?
Mello was on it.
Carmelo knew.
Yeah. So did Kevin Garnett. Tastes like Cheerios.
Oh god.
That was the most disrespectful line I've ever heard. Trash talk in my life.
That's wild. So yeah, Life won that one. We know
Life moves on to the second round pretty easily. Next matchup we have at the 15 seed Booty Call, and at the 18 seed American Gangster.
Again, we said it before. Two completely different movies.
Very different movies.
Comedy. Yeah, bio versus comedy.
I don't very vividly remember Booty Call, honestly. Like, I think I remember like moments here and there, but like I couldn't quote this movie.
This is the first time I had a like huge crush on is Vivica Fox.
Yeah, Vivica Fox, yeah.
Bruh, she looked right in this
movie. I know.
Like, yeah, bro. I had a crush on her, and then just the whole. I shouldn't have been watching this. This is one movie I shouldn't have been watching.
Oh,
97? Yeah.
Like I'm 7 and I'm watching this. Like him trying to smash and them just doing wild stuff, bro.
Because I think I remember asking my mom, I was like, what does Booty Call mean?
Yeah.
And I'm pretty sure she did not tell me.
Right. Like, yeah, bro. I had no business watching this, but yeah, this movie, this kind of put her on, it didn't put her on the map, but like for me, I was like, God, oh, okay.
I mean, I definitely knew very young that I was attracted to women, and I mean, some of these movies are the reason why. This is Jamie Foxx. Yeah, this is. I would say my dick is 2 inches from the ground.
Oh yeah.
Oh man. Yeah.
Oh man.
Goodness.
Okay, so American Gangster. You know what? I this movie is fun. Like I love obviously his history, right? We'll talk about the theme with me, history, Frank Lucas and everything. But also, Jay-Z came out, did the soundtrack and the album American Gangster at the same time. Outstanding, probably really underrated as far as his catalog is concerned. But like, yeah, Denzel killed it, bro. When he shot dude in the
when he shot Idris in the head, I was not prepared.
On the street in public,
I was like, because Idris was like, "You're not gonna shoot me in front of like you're not gonna do it," and he didn't give a fuck.
My dude got up from his breakfast, went checked him, shot him, went back.
Yeah, just went back. Yeah, like everything was just normal and fine.
Yeah,
I was like, oh, that's who this man was.
Yep. Russell, wasn't Russell Crowe in this?
Yes.
Yeah, he was a detective.
He was the one trying to get him. Yeah.
Yeah, the cops was hella corrupt back then too. And but yeah, man, Blue
and
Magic.
This is also I didn't realize that Mordo was in this movie until I watched it like again.
Oh yeah. Yep. Yeah, it was a really good cast. Really good cast. And
yeah, it's a pretty big cast. Yeah, there's a lot of stars.
There are a lot of people in this movie.
Wait, who did Cuba Gooding Jr. play? What was my dude's name?
Ricky Barnes.
Ricky Barnes. He was a snitch. Ricky Barnes. Yeah.
And Thanos was in this movie.
Yeah. Josh Brolin. But they did a really good job of like sprinkling in, like, I mean, obviously it was based on real, but sprinkling in Ricky Barnes. There's a lot of like big time gangsters during that time. So yeah, man, American Gangster was fire, and it has a place in my heart because the music. So this is a tough one for me. What do you guys think?
It's not tough for me at all. Like this is an easy American Gangster.
Okay.
You know me, I'm a little bit ratchet. I gotta go with Booty Call.
I mean, I'm Vivica.
I gotta go with Booty Call.
Bro, I remember what she wore. Like she had a skirt, a blue. Yeah, bro. Like that's how bad it is.
Man, Brandon was real down bad.
Bro, I was down bad. I was like, God, believe. This is tough.
So yeah, it's on you, Brandon. You can break the tie.
I'm gonna go with just because I think it'll be a better matchup for the next. I'm gonna go American Gangster.
Okay, I can live with that. I knew American Gangster would win, but I Booty Call was on my list.
I'm glad he got a shout out. Booty Call. Okay. In the next one, we have some big ones. We got big one. We got at the 10 seed, we got Coming to America, and at the 23 seed, we have Soul Man. Some really legendary actors on these movies. What do you guys think?
I guess we talk Coming to America first. And Coming to America is like whenever people think about just like black comedies, I think Coming to America is like one of the first 5 most people come up with.
Yeah, agreed.
Like I think this is one of the biggest black comedies in the minds of America.
Yeah, I agree. I think this is at the height of Eddie Murphy in the 80s. Like the cast, star-studded.
Yeah, everybody's in this.
Everybody's in it. It just is probably one of the biggest, like, overall blackest movies we've ever had. Like, as far as like hit, like star power, and as far as like how well it's done throughout history, like Coming to America, bro.
I mean, you have Eddie Murphy and James Earl Jones,
right?
That's all you need. But also, there are a bunch of other people in this movie,
sprinkled in that are like back-end characters. What was you gonna say?
Did you guys see the new one? Not new one, but the second one. I guess
you want to talk about it.
Coming to America.
Yeah, I couldn't watch it. I couldn't do it.
I didn't even want to talk about
it. I heard it was bad, and I heard that like they just kind of leaned on cameos. Like that's all it was. It wasn't a good movie. It was just a movie of cameos.
It was. You could tell it was a movie like they're making a Coming to America too. I gotta be in that. So everybody hit up the agent, was like, yo, I gotta be in that movie. It was garbage. It was utter garbage. I barely made it through.
And that usually happens. Like whenever they have a movie and they try to make a sequel more than 10 years later, Like it usually doesn't go. Like you waited too long.
It just didn't. It didn't make any sense. It was stupid. It was honestly kind of disrespectful to this classic movie. But yeah, man, this movie.
It was an attempted money grab, and I mean that's going to happen. So.
Yeah. But yeah, Coming to America. We'll talk about it later, even more. But yeah, it's classic, right? One of the greatest.
Bernie Mac's last movie.
Man, you know, I always say underrated, man. Like this one gets you cracking up, dying laughing.
Like
so many moments.
This movie is very funny.
Yeah, like
and it's a sleeper. Like I feel like people don't talk about it enough. But
a lot of people, I feel like haven't seen it. I feel like.
Them playing off each other was like a good matchup.
It was very well done. Yeah, I feel like this movie should be in that same conversation, but I think you're right. I don't think enough people have seen it, or people like didn't hear about it when it came out. But like this movie is. I remember this movie being hilarious.
Yeah.
And this is one of those movies where, because I've always asked the question, do you believe in what is called, I guess, the Tupac effect, where somebody dying heightens their notoriety and gives them, a higher spot on countdowns and lists, and just kind of makes them viewed as better than they were if they were alive. And then, do you think Bernie Mac is being affected by the Tupac effect? And everyone that I've asked said absolutely not. Bernie Mac is in the GOAT conversation because he deserves to be in the GOAT conversation.
I would definitely agree with that. And I know what you mean about the Tupac effect, because I feel like when a lot of rappers now die, they're like, oh man, he was a GOAT, he was legendary. I'm just like, he wasn't around that long, so I don't think he deserves that title, but I do think Bernie Mac does, because Bernie Mac was very funny.
Yeah, I mean, and I think that happened. Like the who made that evident was Nipsey. Whenever Nipsey died, there were a lot of new Nipsey fans. I was like, you've never talked about Nipsey,
never.
Yeah, but all of a sudden, he's your favorite rapper.
Yeah,
all
now
right.
you put
also
with that and everything.
That XX Tentacion, like y'all know who I'm talking about?
Yeah,
yes,
yeah, that dude too. I'm just like, yo, like he was still new. How was he already the GOAT?
Right.
Yeah, but I don't think Bernie Mac suffered from this though.
Yeah, no, Bernie Mac was in fact hilarious.
Right.
And like any stripes he gets, he earned.
Thanks.
So
he came up late, but his blow up was late, but he at least got to see it while it happened.
Yeah. Because the Bernie Mac show is not talked about enough.
Oh, totally agree.
So what do y'all think on this one?
I'm gonna
probably go with Coming to America.
Yeah, I was gonna say I hate that Soul Man is up with Coming to America.
Right.
I wanted it to go a little further, but now, yeah.
For me, this next matchup is going to be the hardest matchup for me so far.
And good segue here. We have the number 7 seed Friday against the number 26 seed sleeper alert, The Wood.
When I tell you, I think Friday might be in my top 5 most watched movies ever in my life. Friday is probably on that list, and I don't think it's going to be number 2. I think it might be number 1. I've seen Friday so many times, it's not even funny. Like, Friday was like a movie. I love that movie as a kid, which, again, shouldn't have been watching it.
Yep.
I was going to say, based on when it came out, we should not have been watching Friday. We should not have been quoting Friday in the 90s. Like, we were far too young.
Quote so much of Friday. Yeah.
There are a lot of people I know that could recite the movie as they watch it, the entire movie.
Yeah,
Debo.
Yeah, I've seen Friday so many times, and I love Friday as a movie. Just the whole thing, front to back to front. Like, I love Friday as a movie. All the characters hit for me.
Like, whenever in the conversation we just had about like black comedies and what Coming to America being in the top 5, Friday's got to be number 1 for like, if you say to somebody like, name a black comedy, like Friday's, like in a Family Feud game, Friday's going to be the number 1 answer.
Yeah.
I can see that. Yeah. Definitely can see that. Yeah, Friday. Man, so many moments, so many great characters.
From the start of the movie to the end of the movie, I just loved it. Ezel.
Bye Felicia. Ezel,
yeah. Bye Felicia permeated through it made it to be, because there's so many people who have no idea where Bye Felicia comes from.
Yes.
Yeah.
But they will say it all day long.
Yep.
And I was a menace a little bit whenever the wrong people said it. I said, "What is that from?"
Exactly. Because you know they don't know.
Yeah. Tell me where Bye Felicia. Where did that originate?
Yeah. And dude, I think I told y'all this. Bluey, the Bluey we love, quoted Friday on an episode.
Really?
Bluey's dad slipped and hurt his back, and he was like, "My neck, my back, my neck, and my back." And I stopped it. I was like, "No, he did not just say that." I rewinded it. Told my wife, I was like, "Can you believe Bluey just quoted Friday?" I was
That's
like,
worldwide.
That is crazy.
He's it.
That's worldwide.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Yeah, we can solve this right now for $2.
Get your ass up. Yeah.
Yeah, get your ass up. Yeah, man. Friday.
Debo, everybody. You can say Debo to anybody. And they know who you're talking about.
Debo coming. Who?
Yeah.
Debo.
Debo's another one of those people. Like, his name is Debo.
Yep.
I don't care where I see him. I don't care what he's in. His name is Debo, regardless of where he is.
Big Worm. Bro, I can go for him for days, bro.
Yeah. What a big perm.
Yeah.
I mean, what a big worm. I mean, big perm. I mean, big worm. Yeah, man. Yeah. The Lord is my shepherd, and he know what I want. Yeah. Come on now.
Miss Parker? Miss Parker.
Oh my God, Miss Parker. Jesus. This movie made Chris Tucker. Like,
you're right.
This is what took him to, Money Talks and, Rush Hour and all that stuff.
Yeah, you're right.
But yeah.
We're probably going to be talking more about this movie.
Yeah, let's what's up? And then The Wood. When I tell you The Wood is like a story like me and all three and both of me and my homies.
That's the problem. Is The Wood is really good.
The Wood is one of the best like stories from a black movie, like best stories ever told, bro.
I would agree. It's one of the best. It's just really good.
Yeah, like all around, like the skip through time, like the flashbacks, and
then it's quotable because I don't know. Like, one of my favorite lines in any movie comes from The Wood. Whenever he said, "Hey, get your crybaby ass in the back." It's one of my favorite lines.
Oh man, bro! Didn't he like when he trying to like grab a girl's butt? Like he was like really like that was his goal.
He grabbed Stacy's sister.
Yeah. Bro, that's so realistic. That's crazy, bro.
When he lost his virginity, like that was, I feel like that's how it went for a lot of people.
Yep. Bro, when he was dancing with the bed, bro.
He put you on game with the Tic Tacs versus gum. Like he's like, yeah, you use Tic Tacs. It's like, yeah, it's like they melt in your mouth. You don't got to worry about, you got gum. You got to put it somewhere. It's like get Tic Tacs. I was like, bro, this was, I'm telling you, this was the story of like me and my two boys. Like that was for sure.
Cass was really good.
I gotta be honest, for me though, I'm going with Friday.
Yeah, I think Friday's the heavy hitter. I think The Wood is a sleeper, is a good classic. I think anyone here who hasn't seen it, go see it.
The Wood would have done better against a lot of these movies.
Yeah.
But like being up against Friday is how we got here. And that's the fun thing about the seeding. Like who you're seated up against determines a lot.
Yep.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Because we have some movies that should have gone further and would have if they had been up against anything else.
It's true. And that definitely happens in March Madness. There'd be some teams that are nice. They just got somebody chosen to be this, the 15 seed, and they play a tough team, That's definitely how it shakes sometimes. But in our next matchup, we have the number 3 seed, Django, against the number 30 seed, another sleeper, All About the Benjamins.
Django is my favorite Tarantino movie.
Absolutely.
Django is probably the only slave movie I want to watch.
Absolutely. I can't agree more. I could throw there's times where like I'm flipping and I don't have cable, but like I'll see it on and I'll be like, yeah, I want to watch Django. And that never happens for most movies, but definitely not slave movies. Like I stopped watching slave movies a long time ago.
Yeah, I don't need that.
Yeah,
I understand the importance and the relevance and why we do it, but I'm going to walk out mad, and nobody needs that.
I don't think
agree.
We don't need black pain anymore.
It's funny. I was just today at work. We were just talking about this movie. We're talking about the funniest scene in the movie. Where Jonah Hill's like, I can't see anything. He's like, I didn't take this off. He's like, my wife made this.
I ain't doing nothing else for you.
Bro, that was one of the funniest. Yeah, that was one of the funniest scenes, bro. Low key too.
It's so funny. I can't see shit out this goddamn thing.
Sarah Smith all night putting these together. Everybody
it's like the masks were a great idea.
Yeah. Bro. And then Leonardo, like my dude didn't have to.
He needed his Oscar for this. He should have got his fucking Oscar for this.
This was, to me, like you could put up, people be talking about, well, what about Wolf of Wall Street? I'm like, no, this is the performance to me.
He should have got one for Wolf of Wall Street too. But yeah, this is absolute.
When I think of him, I think of, bro, there's been few times where the villain makes me literally want to put my hands on him. And this dude consistently throughout the movie does it. Like with the dogs, bro. And he sicked the dogs on the dude. And then, like him calling, and it was plenty of people talked about him calling Jamie Foxx a nigger to his face. Like my dude dove in. My dude was an actor. My dude dove in on this one.
And along
Samuel
with that,
Jackson make me mad too.
Samuel L. Jackson is who I would have choked out.
I
would have choked his old ass out.
Yeah, I would have beat his ass first, probably.
Because that's the thing, like he was
Uncle Ruckus.
Oftentimes, he was the smartest person in the room.
Yeah.
And
he sniffed it out early.
Yeah, immediately, and knew exactly what was going on. And it was a great movie.
Honestly, another, like we talked about The Wood, this was a great story. Like if you made a comic book about this, I'd be like, bet. Like I'd run through this. You know what I mean? It's just and it was a powerful story for Black people because we all know most slave movies are bullshit. We're always the victim.
And most slave movies, I mean, like this was a very inaccurate slave movie. That's what I wanted. I like it when Tarantino takes terrible parts of history and is like, we're just going to rewrite this.
Yeah.
As if the people we wanted to win won.
Right.
And so, like, I like Tarantino's takes on history. Like, no, that's not how that happened, but I would like it to have gone this way.
Yeah. Yeah, my dude, Dr. King Schultz, I loved his character. Yeah, man, all the way around. Another movie where cast was crazy. Big Daddy, that dude was funny as hell.
Big Daddy was so funny.
So let's,
you want me to treat him like he's white? No, I didn't say that.
Should we? That's not what I said. Should we just go ahead and just make the pick? We still got some movies to get through, or we want to talk about All About the Benjamins?
Do we agree? Because
I think it's clear.
Yeah, it's definitely Django over All About the Benjamins.
Quickly shout out All About the Benjamins, a really funny movie. Shout out to Mike Epps. Yeah. I think this movie kind of put people up on Mike Epps. Ice Cube, and then Ice Cube was kind of like, this nigga is really good at putting comedians on in movies. So, yeah.
See, I thought Next Friday was what put him on, but
I think Next Friday put him on. But I will say, after All About the Benjamins, I started watching Mike Epps stand-ups.
That's true. It wasn't exciting. To me, this one was more like, okay, you got the Chris Tucker role last time. This is your own thing, and it was really good.
Yeah.
I mean, the next matchup, I think it's gonna be a wash, but let's go ahead and throw it out there, Brandon. What we got?
Yeah, so we'll see what happens.
This actually is not a wash at all. Actually, number 14, we have Baby Boy, and 19 versus number 19, Best Man. Your ratchet ass. Let me guess which one you chose.
I think I know where Jordan's going.
So should we start with the one that's always on BET?
Yes, we should.
Yeah, this movie is always back in the day. This movie was always on BET. No
Jody?
matter what time of day you turned it on, this thing was on BET like crazy.
I will say I didn't know that Jody was a man's name.
Yeah.
Until this movie.
I would say I never even thought about it.
I never really met many Jodys, but
every Jody I've met is female.
Yeah, Baby Boy. It's cool. It's cool.
Now,
very mid,
let me ask you this: is this a movie that you think gets overrated and blown up by the culture?
Yes.
Absolutely. I'm right there with you.
It's just talked about a lot, but it's not really that good. The acting wasn't good. The
acting was not good.
No thanks. That is the reason why this ain't got a sequel, or The Best Man is still out here making movies.
The Best Man. What more to say about it? We is this the movie that y'all thought was gonna win?
I thought so.
I know it's my pick.
Yeah, it's Jordan, my pick too.
Oh wow!
No, it's my pick too.
Jordan, I thought your ratchet side was gonna come out there.
I did too.
You was gonna vote for Baby Boy.
No, not this one. The Baby Boy, it was cool the first watch around, but then they overplayed it and I got real tired of it real fast.
Okay. So Best Man moves on to the next round. At number 11 seed in our next matchup, we have Set It Off versus number 22, Love Don't Cost a Thing. What y'all got? To me, this is I don't say it's easy, but it's pretty simple to me.
Okay. I think I know who's gonna win, but we can talk about them both. You know,
we ain't got to spend a lot of time on it. I'm going to Set It Off.
I will say, in my youth, if you would have said to me, "Who would you ruin your life for?"
Oh yeah,
my answer was Christina Milian.
I would have ruined your young life.
I would have ruined my life for Christina Milian. And
in this movie, she was in her bag in this.
Boy, oh boy.
Yeah.
However, that does not make this a good movie.
I will say, similar to what Spenser said, if you ask the 14-year-old me, I'm going, Love Don't Cost a Thing. Like, this was a very good portrayal of like the teenage life. Obviously, you ain't out here selling yourself away for just to be a girlfriend for a little bit. But now, I Set It Off. Just, I think, so well done.
It's a classic.
The final scene. Oh my god!
I was about to say that the final scene, man.
Okay, Queen Latifah can do everything.
That's a rough one.
Yep. This is a tearjerker out there.
So Set
It Off moves on. Set It Off moves on.
Yeah, that's easy.
Okay.
The only next one.
Oh, in our last matchup, this is an animated battle. We got in the 6th seed Soul, and in the 27th seed Princess and the Frog. What you think?
You want to start it, Brandon? Brandon Spenser.
I have a clear winner here. That's just me though. For me, this is an easy Princess and the Frog.
Whoa, that's not what I was thinking.
Yeah.
Whoa, what, Jordan?
I might go Soul.
Okay.
I might go Soul. I'm gonna be honest with you. We're almost there. People run. You know what?
Yeah, I was like, that's definitely Princess and the Frog.
I was gonna say, I think you're thinking about the wrong
Princess. No, I knew it was Princess and the Frog.
Bro, think about it. Dig a little deeper. What you gonna dig, bro? Just songs alone, fire. Then the actual movie, a lot better. Yeah, to me, it's Princess and the Frog.
Yeah, no, I'm gonna stick with it. I'm gonna stick Soul, even though it didn't win this matchup. Both of y'all picked, Princess and the Frog. I'm still going with Soul, but I understand it has to be like that.
Yeah.
Brandon, you want to announce these round winners real quick?
Sure. Okay. In our first matchup, we had 11 Basketball versus Bad Boys 2. Bad Boys 2 came out with the win. Big Mama's House versus Hustle and Flow. Big Mama's House came out with the win. Get Out versus Harder They Fall. Harder They Fall with the upset. Then we had Medea's Family Reunion versus Bad Boys. Bad Boys came out with the win. Ray versus Barbershop. Ray came out with the dub. Malcolm X versus Drumline. We had Malcolm X getting the win. ATL versus Bebe's Kids. ATL wins. The next one we had Nutty Professor versus White Chicks. White Chicks gets the dub. Then we have Life versus Think Like a Man. Life with the win. Booty Call versus American Gangster. American Gangster moves on to the next round. Coming to America versus Soul Men. Coming to America wins. Then we had Friday versus The Wood. Friday wins. Django versus All About the Benjamins. Django moves on. Baby Boy versus The Best Man. Best Man moves on. Then we had Set It Off versus Love Don't Cost a Thing. Set It Off moves on. And lastly, we had Soul versus Princess and the Frog. Princess and the Frog moves on to the second round. All right. And then that moves us to the second round. So what we'll do is, obviously today we talked about the first round. It was a fun discussion. In our next episode, in part 2, we will then go on for the rest of the bracket. We'll talk about the second round. And obviously, we'll go on and on from there, and we'll decide who the champion is of our 32-team Black movie bracket.
Some fun discussion today.
Yeah, and some, we all, I think, am I right in saying that, Brandon, all of your choices move forward?
I want to say you're correct. I didn't even think about that, but
because I think I know that there were a couple that Jordan picked and there were a couple that I picked that didn't make it, but I think I think you broke every tie.
What was the biggest upset today? What do you guys think?
In my opinion, Get Out was.
Yeah, Harder They Fall versus Get Out. That's the biggest upset right there.
Agree. What was for you, in your personal opinions, what two movies were the best matchup or the hardest for you personally?
Ooh.
I think Friday and the Wood.
Tough. Yeah.
Like Friday and the Wood are both heavy hitters.
Yeah.
For the most part, a lot of these were like pretty easy choices, but yeah, like that one, if it hadn't been Friday, the Wood would have probably made it to round 2. I mean, there are certain movies it wouldn't have, but like the Wood is really good. Like as far as quality goes,
yeah,
The Wood is an excellent movie. Like if I had to like say to somebody, hey, if you've just not seen any of these movies, go watch one. The Wood might be the one that I recommend.
That's a really good pick.
Like really just because it's very real life.
Right.
And a lot of times unfortunately, we don't get to see Black people just being normal people oftentimes.
Right.
And The Wood is one of the best, in my opinion, like actual just living real life movies, because oftentimes we have to see Black people in very specific situations, either very, very, very negative situations or like overcorrection positive situations.
Right.
But like this is a relatively accurate, just like coming of age story.
And you rarely get coming of age stories for Black people. You know what I mean?
You're right. Let me ask you now. In round 2, what matchup are you looking forward to the most?
Oh,
I think. Oh,
go ahead, Spencer. Go ahead. I'm still looking.
Because I know who I have for all of these, but I think the The one that would warrant the most discussion might be Ray and Malcolm X.
Okay.
I agree.
I'm looking at that Coming to America Friday, and I'm like, oof.
That one for me is also
both heavy hitters.
The Harder They Fall and Bad Boys.
Yeah. Well, for me, it's not, but I get why.
Like, and that's the thing. Like, there are some of these where it's like I already have a winner. Like, I don't have to think about it. But like Malcolm X and Ray, I'll have to think about. Life in American Gangster is one of those. It's like that those are not similar types of movies, but like that's an interesting matchup.
Right.
Yeah.
Interesting matchup.
I mean, we also have Set It Off going against Princess and the Frog.
Yeah.
Right.
Very different movies.
Very different movies.
Matters how you feel that day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Last question for me. What do you guys think was the easiest matchup? It was like, there's no question about it. I know there were probably a few.
White Chicks and Nutty Professor for me.
Ooh, okay. It's either Bad Boys, Medea's Family, or Life and Think Like a Man. Like that was pretty simple.
I remember one of the first things I learned about Brandon was that Life was his favorite movie.
Yeah, like Life, bruh. I've watched that movie a million times. Like it just hits every time. Soundtrack is amazing. Casey and JoJo, Life. Come on, man. Hits.
And I'm trying not to talk about it too much because we gotta have content in the episode. But
right.
Life is very good.
For me, I think Spencer. I think you said Nutty Professor and White Chicks. Yeah, White Chicks that was a clear winner for me.
I mean, like to the point where you were like, "Do we even need to talk about it?"
Yeah.
Like, you definitely said like we can just call it right now.
Yeah, I mean that one's real easy.
Yeah, I get it. White Chicks is going to be one of those that, make it far. We'll see.
So, just looking at this, who's on here the most? Because Eddie Murphy's on here a few times. Martin Lawrence is on here a few times.
Ice? Well, no. Okay.
Jamie Foxx is on here twice, 3 times.
That's true.
Yeah, Jamie Foxx got 3. Martin Lawrence has 3. Bad Boys 1, Bad Boys 2.
Jamie Foxx got 4. He was in Booty Call, right?
Oh, you're right.
Overall, yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
you're right.
I think we might have. I think Jamie Foxx might be on here the most.
Yeah.
That's not what I expected. I mean, yeah, like that. I get it, but like,
we didn't do that on purpose or anything. Yeah. That's how the chips fell.
Because I mean, most people would have expected, Denzel to be on here a bunch,
right?
But Ice Cube got 2 appearances.
Yeah, some good ones too.
So,
I'm excited to see. How this shakes out and the debates that are going to come because we know they're coming.
If people are excited about round 2 and let us know your predictions, maybe we can start doing some gambling around here. See who's gonna be upset. Start playing some bets right now. But just let us know in the Facebook group. Who do you think will win in round 2? Were there any upsets that you thought that we missed out on in round 1? Did we make a wrong call in round 1? Let us know.
How many of these movies have you seen?
Yeah, that too.
Like, I want to know, out of these 32 movies, how many have you seen already? Because I have a feeling that there are going to be people who... I don't know that there will be very many people who have seen all of them.
We worldwide, man.
Worldwide,
so there's a lot of people out there who's never seen a lot of these movies. We want to know.
Yeah, because I mean, there's a wide range of movies on here from different time periods. So, when you grew up might have a lot to do with whether or not you saw any of these, because we should not have been watching some of these when they came out.
I would say the newest, roughly 90% of these we shouldn't have watched.
Exactly.
At the time we watched.
The newest movie on here is The Harder They Fall, huh?
Yeah, I think so.
Yep.
But yeah, like anything from the 90s, we probably shouldn't have been watching.
Yeah, early 2000s too.
Yeah, like I should not have been watching Booty Call or Set It Off or Friday. Probably shouldn't have been watching The Wood. I shouldn't have been watching Bad Boys. There are a lot of these movies that were far above my I shouldn't have been watching Bebe's Kids. Loved Bebe's Kids.
Loved it.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have been watching Life.
Yeah, I definitely shouldn't have watched Best Man. There's a lot going on in there.
Yeah, like it was it was great. I shouldn't have been watching wrestling, but here we are.
Yeah, life as a kid in the 90s, man. What a beautiful life.
What a time to be alive.
Right.
I know. So, well, people, let us know. Facebook group, the League of Melanated Gentlemen Podcast. Let us know on Twitter at the LMG Podcast. And follow us and subscribe to us on Twitter at the League of Melanated Gentlemen Podcast. With that being said, YouTube. Oh yeah, what did I say? YouTube?
Yeah, YouTube. You said Twitter. It's YouTube. That's fine.
Oh yeah. YouTube, Twitter. They all kind of look like at a certain point. Yeah, we're never duplicated.
Always appreciated.
And forever melanated.